Yeah, welcome to another video. This is Dolores O'Riordan, famous singer of Cranberries. Maybe you remember her. She died not long time ago, on the 15th of January 2018 in London. And this song you hear this is the most famous song they had. It's about Northern Ireland conflict between Protestant and Catholic units, fighting units, IRA, and also this Ulster defense groups and British occupiers. Well, this song, it sounds like a peace song, but if you go deeper inside this video, you see that this is not the case. The song starts with British soldiers that they came into this northern island and that they seem to terrorize this inhabitants, this people who live there, this poor Roman Catholic boys, kids, and they are suppressed, and after a while this song turns into a glorification of IRA. You can see this on these pictures here. This wall, paintings, IRA, volunteers, and this is kind of tricky. I was in Ireland when I was younger, about 20, and I believe this old story that there's a British occupation in Northern Ireland, and this poor Roman Catholics are suppressed by London, by British government, and all the soldiers bringing their terror there, and this poor Catholic people, they defend themselves with IRA and all this stuff. I believe this, but there's also another story. There were many executions of Protestant people in the past, and there was a British king, I think it was Oliver Cromwell, and he stopped these executions, and Ireland became a British colony. It's true, but it's also true that the Roman Catholic Church didn't stop to persecute this Protestant people in Ireland, and after this civil war in Ireland, this northern part of Ireland became Protestant with the government of British, became part of Great Britain, and the rest was Irish Republic. But we learn things, or we see pictures we have in our head that are not always true. There's the other side is that there are still Roman Catholic terrorists, that they are still killing Protestants, and they have to defend themselves, otherwise they are killed. Well, another sad thing is, I have to say, it is about Dolores O'Riordan. As you see here in this picture, she's dead now. She was a good Catholic girl. She she lost her father, the Pope, The leader of the Roman Catholic Church, well, this is what she thought, well, as we know from Bill Hutch and Eric John Phelps. There's another leader, the Black Pope, and this Black Pope unfortunately leads a satanic sacrifice system, was founded in Babylon, and it's a hidden sacrifice system, and she was victim of this. The death of Dolores O'Riordan was a satanic ritual. She was killed, and it's possible with this scalar wave machines. They do this sacrifice. You see here another pictures of her. Well, somehow she must have known that she was chosen as a victim. And for example, this picture, well, every Irish woman knows what this symbol means. You see this older woman laughing in the background. They know quite well what Babylonian sacrifice means, because the Roman Catholic Church is leading Ireland since 1,000 years or even longer, and the Jesuit order, they have certain areas. They they divided the world in 83 regions, and Ireland is one of these 83 regions, and they control both sides. The in North Ireland conflict, they are on the London side, on the British side, and also on this Catholic side. So this conflict will never end, and now with the Brexit, it will become more violent, because now there's more restriction. The borders will become more close in Northern Ireland, more checkpoints, maybe checkpoints come back, and it's the way back again. They turn the past again. There will be more conflicts again in North Ireland after a long period of peace. Last 20 years was improvement of peace, but now they change it back. Well, here are some more pictures of her. This is her funeral, and is it looking like that they are sad or something like that? This is her former band right at her funeral. Well, look at them, and here another picture of her band, and this picture is her last album. It was there were shootings for this last album. I don't know the name of the album, but you see this funny dress. It looks like bones, like a skeleton, and two members of her band. I don't know their names. I don't care. Well, one on the right, one on the left. It is everybody who's in this satanic system knows quite well what it means. It is this old temple of Jerusalem, the Solomon temple. There was two columns, and in the middle there was an altar where these animals were burned. The sacrifice of animals, sheep. Mostly they took took jeeps, and here you see this picture. It is a sacrifice symbol. They wear Dolores like a sheep, bringing to this altar maybe. Well, this is her band, and she looks like a sacrifice here. Well, um, but in the last days of her life, she looked very sick. She was quite old, looking sick, and I'm quite sure she was a target. She was targeted with this Scala wave devices, and it is quite easy to bring devices in this hotel where she was at her death, maybe the room beside or above, and no problem. I experienced by my own when I was on trips. I tried to escape this targeting. They always had another room in a hotel beside me or above me, and targeting me, and I'm quite sure that she was targeted with these devices. And as you know, all secret services, also the MI6 in London, all are led by the Jesuit order, all controlled by Rome, and they do this for this Babylonian sacrificing system, and they are not protecting us for terrorists. They are the terrorists, and they're just killing special persons just for fun, like Dolores or Raiden. Yeah, I'm sorry for her. But why I choose the song Zombie has another reason. Because I will show you two films I found in the internet. It's about fungus or mushrooms that can produce chemicals inside the brain and can influence the behavior of a target. Some people think, well, mushrooms only grow on a plant or rotten plant, for example in forests. So, but it's not the case. There are fungus that grows into animal tissue, can also be human tissue, and if you find this in nature, you can be sure that they take this forms of fungi, of this fungus they find mostly in the jungle. This are the most dangerous fungus are in the jungle, and maybe they transform it, genetically modified it, and well, it is one part of this Morgellons that can also influence our mind. Well, if you see these films, I'm begging you, don't panic, because we are not like these insects you see in the film. There are ways to protect. We have antifungus, for example, iodide, or all sulfur solutions are helpful against fungus. You can fight this Morgellon disease, this fungus infection. We all have inside us. Unfortunately, they enlarged this war. All heretics, Protestants, that are we all, because we are all infected by this Protestant virus, that we have our own mind, that we want to control our life by ourselves, and this is not what the Black Pope wants. He wants us back to slavery, and everybody who does not submit or not follow these rules has to die. This is why they make this war against us. And but again, if you see these films about this fungi and these insects, don't panic. They are ways to fight this, and well, we will win this fight. I'm quite sure. Well, that's my words, and now I let speak these films.
Incredibly, 80% of all insects live in jungles. Few are more successful than the ants. There can be 8 million individuals in a single hectare. But jungle ants don't have it all their own way. These bullet ants are showing some worrying symptoms. Spores from a parasitic fungus called cordyceps have infiltrated their bodies and their minds. Its infected brain directs this ant upwards. Then, utterly disorientated, it grips a stem with its mandibles. Those afflicted that are discovered by the workers are quickly taken away and dumped far away from the colony. It seems extreme, but this is the reason why. Like something out of science fiction, the fruiting body of the cordyceps erupts from the ant's head. It can take 3 weeks to grow, and when finished, the deadly spores will burst from its tip. Then, any ant in the vicinity will be in serious risk of death. The fungus is so virulent, it can wipe out whole colonies of ants. And it's not just ants that fall victim to this killer. There are literally thousands of different types of cordyceps fungi, and remarkably, each specializes on just one species. But these attacks do have a positive effect on the jungle's diversity, since parasites like these stop any one group of animal getting the upper hand. The more numerous a species becomes, the more likely it will be attacked by its nemesis, a cordyceps fungus.
We like to think we're in control, that our minds are our own. But that's not true for this fruit fly. Its brain has been hijacked by another organism, and it's not gonna end well. It all starts when the fly is innocently walking around, sipping on overripe fruit. It picks up an invisible fungus spore, which bores under its skin. For a few days, everything seems normal. But inside, the fungus is growing, feeding on the fly's fat and infiltrating its mind. At dusk on the 4th or 5th day, the fly gets a little erratic, wandering around. It climbs to a high place. Scientists call this behavior summiting. Then it starts twitching. The fly sticks out its mouth part and spits out a tiny drop of sticky liquid. That glues the fly down, sealing its fate. A few minutes later, its wings shoot up. Now that the fungus has forced the fly into this death pose, wings out of the way, nothing can stop it. It emerges. Tiny spore launchers burst out of the fly's skin. Hundreds of spores shoot out at high speed, catching a breeze if the fly climbed high enough. They're the next generation of killer fungus. It continues for hours, spores flying out. These flies are in the wrong place at the wrong time. And if spores land on a wing, which they can't bore into, they shoot out a secondary spore to increase their chances of spreading. So, how does a fungus take control of a brain? She thinks the fungus secretes chemicals to manipulate the fly's neurons, maybe stimulating the ones that make flies climb. But don't worry, the fungus can't hurt humans. Scientists have tried to harness its power for our benefit, to kill flies in our kitchens and farms. They haven't had any luck, though. The deadly spores are actually pretty fragile and short-lived. It turns out, this lethal puppet master does only what it needs to for its own survival.